Okay, dear friends. So today in this lecture, we will discuss the different techniques used in the amplitude modulation and what are the advantage of this technique, disadvantage of this technique. Also, we are going to discuss. Today we will discuss only one of the technique, and that is known as a double sideband suppressed carrier technique. So let us see what is that one. In short, this is also known as a DSC technique. So actually why we require this kind of the technique? So in amplitude modulation, we know that the AM wave is represented as V is equal to Vm sine that V is equal to, it is written as Vc into 1 plus Me sine omega mt into sine omega ct. Then if we expand this expression and we can write in terms of the sideband frequency, it is written as a Vc sine omega ct plus MEVC by 2 into cos omega c minus omega n into t plus MEVC by 2 into cos omega c plus omega n into t. Now already you know what are the different components present in the modulated wave. That here whatever the first term is there, it is representing the original carrier wave. The second term is representing a lower sideband frequency, and the third term is representing a upper sideband frequency. Then we have calculated what is the required power, or what is the power after the modulation. That is known as the total power of the modulated wave, and that expression is written as that the Pt is equal to, we can say that is the power of a modulated wave is given by Pc into 1 plus Me square by 2. Correct? Now, if my modulation index is 1, so here for Ma is equal to 1, if I will calculate the power of a modulated wave, then this is Pc into 1 plus 1 by 2, and that is equal to, here we have 2 plus it is a 3 by 2 into Pc. Or we can say that the carrier power is given as 2 by 3rd of a total power. Now remember, this is very important. When the modulation index is 1, then the carrier power is a 2/3 of a total power. And it is a very huge power, very large amount of the power is there with the carrier. But we know that the carrier is not carrying the information. Remember, whatever the carrier signal is there, the carrier wave is not carrying the information. Information is carried by the sidebands. Means whatever the sidebands are produced, they are carrying the information. So here the whatever the power is there, this power is with the carrier power, that is the 2/3 of the total power. And here if we see the power of the sideband frequency only a 1/3 of the total power. So actually we can say if the carrier is not carrying the information, then why we have to waste too much power? Only useful power in the amplitude modulation is a 1/3 of the total power. So here to save the power for the transmission, that if we will not send a carrier wave, remember, if we suppress the carrier wave from the modulated wave, then we can save this much amount of the energy. Means the 66% of the transmitting energy we can save if the carrier is not transmitting. So here, why this is known as a double sideband suppressed carrier? So whatever the modulated wave is there, in modulated wave, we are suppressing the carrier wave. Only the sideband frequency are transmitted, and therefore this technique is known as a double sideband suppressed carrier technique. And what is the advantage of this technique? That we can save the 66% of the total power. So let us see what is the expression for a DS-DSC technique. So if I want to write the expression for a DS-DSC signal, then we can write as whatever the expression for the amplitude modulated wave, and then we are subtracting a carrier. So total from the total modulated wave, the carrier is going to be a subtracted. So here you will get this section. Now in an amplitude modulated wave, already you know the carrier wave is there, upper sideband frequency is there, lower sideband frequency is there, and therefore this expression let us write a complete expression. So Vm is nothing but Vc sin omega Ct plus Ma Vc by 2 cos omega C minus omega n into t plus Ma Vc by 2 cos omega C plus omega n into t. This is my a modulated wave, and I am going to subtract a carrier wave. So it is a Vc sin omega Ct, because we are suppressing a carrier wave. So here this will be clear, cancelled out, and therefore we can write that the expression for a DS-DSC is nothing but MAVC by 2 cos omega C minus omega n into t minus MAVC by 2 cos omega C plus omega n into t. So this is the expression for a DS-DSC signal. Now let us see what will be the frequency spectrum. So here you can see in this expression that we have a two frequency. One is a lower sideband frequency. This is my LSB, and this is my a USB. So if we draw the frequency spectrum, then we have to draw only a two component. Carrier frequency is not present, and therefore the frequency spectrum can be we can draw in this manner. Here we can have a modulating frequency FM is present. Somewhere here, the carrier frequency will be there, but the carrier frequency is suppressed, so we are not representing with the arrow, only you have to mention a dot, because its amplitude is not there. Then, the lower sideband frequency you have to draw, so that you can draw with like this, and upper sideband frequency will be here, so we can write this is Fc minus Fm and this one is Fc plus Fm. So this one is representing a frequency spectrum of your a DSBSC signal. Now what is the amplitude of this Fm? That you can write as a Va. What is the amplitude of this? A sideband frequency MAVC by 2. This is also a MAVC by 2. So here the carrier is not present, that is important. So you have to represent with the dot only. Now what is the bandwidth of a DSBSC? Bandwidth means, already you know, that is a maximum frequency in the signal minus minimum frequency in the signal in a DSBSC way. So maximum frequency is Fc plus Fm, Fc plus Fm is there, and the minimum frequency is Fc minus Fm, and you can see it is 2 Fm. So in amplitude modulated wave, also we have seen the bandwidth of a modulated wave is 2 FM, and the same bandwidth is also with the DSBSC wave. So there is no change in the bandwidth of the signal. Correct? Now let us see that what will be the time domain representation of the wave. Means with the time, how its amplitude is going to change. So if you look at this, expression, okay, I will drop out this. Now the same expression here, DSBSC wave, this expression I can write in this manner, that is the NA into VC sine omega MT into sine omega CT. Remember, here we apply the trigonometric identity that sine 2 sine omega MT into sine omega CT equal to a cos omega C minus omega n into T minus cos omega C plus omega. So here we write that whatever this cos term is there equal to a sin omega mt sin omega ct. Now what is MA? MA is Vm by Vc into Vc. So sin omega mt into sin omega ct. And if this will be cancelled, then this is written as a Vm sin omega nt into sin omega ct. Correct? So again try to understand that whatever the expression of the DSBSC wave is there, in that case we apply the trigonometric formula. So we write the NAVC sin omega nt sin omega ct. NA is a modulation index and it is a ratio of Vm by Vc. This will be cancelled. We can write Vm sin omega mt sin omega ct. So this is the carrier wave. This is the carrier wave. Then what is the amplitude of the carrier wave? So whatever this bracket is representing, That is the amplitude of this carrier wave. So, here we can say that DSBAC signal, we can write as A sin omega ct. What is A? A is the Vm sin omega mt, and that is representing. Now try to understand. This is representing the envelope of a modulated wave. So, if I will draw the waveform, then this waveform will be like this. First of all, I will draw a envelope. And envelope means it is a Vm sin omega mt. So, it will be varying according to this. You can say this is Vm sin omega mt. Then, when this sign is positive, at that time we have this kind of the shape. When the sign is negative, then the another envelope will be there, and that we can represent in this way. This is representing a minus Vm sin omega mt. And in between we have a modulated wave like this. Now, what is significant here? Significant is that we have a positive envelope also, we have a negative envelope. Positive envelope is a crossing the zero at this point and coming down. Negative envelope is crossing the zero at this point and going up. So at this point, the positive and negative envelope are going to be crossed to each other. Now, if you see the waveform of a amplitude modulated wave, say if you see the waveform of a amplitude modulated wave, then it is like this. Here, if you see where is the positive envelope? Positive envelope is here. Where is the negative envelope? It is here. Now, what is the difference between both the waves? You can see that whatever the positive envelope is there, this positive envelope is not crossing the zero. Here, it is going to be a minimum, but it is not crossing the zero. Same way, whatever the negative envelope is there, it is also not crossing the zero. They are going to be a minimum. No doubt. If we have a 100% modulation, remember, if we have the 100% modulation, then our waveform is like this. And in this case, if you see the positive envelope, it is going to be touching to the zero. Remember, here with the 100% modulation index, the amplitude of a modulated wave is going to be zero, but it is not crossing the zero. Same way, this negative envelope is also not crossing the zero, it is going to touch the zero. But here in this case, the positive envelope as well as the negative envelope is going to be a cross to each other. Not only that, here again, if you see this waveform, then there is a 180 degree phase shift. What kind of a 180 degree phase shift? After this zero crossing, here you can see we have the positive cycle. Now what should be the next one? It should be a negative cycle. Correct? But instead of negative cycle, here you will again have a positive cycle and the waveform will be like this. So whenever the envelope is going to cross the zero, at that time you have a phase shift of a 180 degree. Now remember, in a simple amplitude modulation, we can recover the information by simply using a envelope detector. Envelope detector consists of a simple diode and a capacitor. It is a very simple one, and you can recover the information either from a positive cycle or you can recover from the negative cycle. So it is very easy. But here in this case, DSBSC wave, you cannot use a envelope detector. We have a more complicated circuit for recovering the information from the modulated wave, and that's why this circuit means this technique is not used for the commercial purpose, because the circuits are going to, and basically the receiver circuit is going to be complicated. Instead of using a envelope detector, we have to use some other type of the detector circuit. It is not in your syllabus, so that we are not discussing that type of the detector. But you should remember, here in the DSBSC wave, we cannot use a envelope detector. The more complicated circuits are there. And if you see the actual waveform, here the actual waveform is this, and what is the significant? This is my a positive envelope is there, and it is going to cross like this. This is the positive envelope, and if you see the negative envelope, then this is the negative envelope, and here they are going to cross each other. Now at this point you can see that this is a positive cycle. Remember, here we have this positive cycle near the crossing. Then after there should be a negative cycle. But instead of negative cycle, again we have a positive cycle. So at this point there is a 180 degree phase shift is there. So this is known as a time domain representation. Representation of DSBSC wave. Correct? So this is the characteristic of DSBSC wave. Now let us see how we can generate generation of DSBSC wave. Correct? And just now I already mentioned that DSBSC wave is given as Vm sine omega mt into sine omega ct. It is a product of, remember, Vm sine omega mt is my modulating signal, modulating wave, and sine omega ct is my carrier wave. Correct? So we can say it is a Vm into Vc is there. So if we use a kind of a multiplier circuit, then we can generate a ds-bsc wave. So here the multiplier circuit will be there, or you can say it is a product modulator. Remember, it is a multiplier circuit, and this multiplier circuit has a two input. One of the input is my modulating wave, and that is Vm. So here Vm is present, modulating wave, and another input is a carrier wave. So output will be a proportional to Vm into Vc, and this already mathematically we know that Vm into Vc, this product contains a term omega c minus omega n into t plus a cos omega c plus omega n into t. Means here in the output we have a lower sideband frequency LSB is present, and upper sideband frequency is present, but the carrier is absent. Now, what is a product modulator? Multiplier circuit. In the last lecture also I already mentioned that the multiplier circuit consists of a log amplifier and anti-log amplifier. Here we are not going to discuss the circuit, but you should know how we can generate a ds-bsc wave. Okay? Now, let us see power relation, or how much amount of the power is going to be saved in this technique. So, power of ds-bsc is written as, only there are two components. Carrier is not present. Therefore, there is a power with the lower sideband frequency and the power with the upper sideband frequency. So, we can write power of the lower sideband plus the power of the upper sideband. Now, if I want to calculate what is the PLSB, then we can use the V square by R relation, and the amplitude of the lower sideband is MAVC by 2 whole square divided by R. Now we see MAVC by 2, that is representing a peak value or the maximum voltage, correct? But already mentioned that when we are calculating the power, we have to calculate the average power, because the peak power is a misleading. It is actually just for an instant of a time. It is not a power dissipated. A power dissipated is actually a average power, and therefore we have to write in RMS. So MAVC by 2 divided by root 2 whole square by R, and so why we are dividing by root 2? To get the average power. We have to convert this voltage into a RMS voltage. So this is a MA square by 4 into, I can write VC square by 2R. And VC square by 2R is nothing but it is a carrier power. So that we can say PC, that we can say NA square by 4 into PC. This is the power of a lower side band. Same way we can write the power of a upper side band is also a ma square by 4 into Pc. So the power of the DSBSC wave is ma square by 4 into Pc plus ma square by 4 into Pc, and ultimately this will come out to be a ma square by 2 into Pc. So whenever you want to calculate the power of a DSBSC wave, you have to use this formula, and this indicates that the power is, again, it depends on the modulation index. If the modulation index is large, then the power of the DSBSC wave will be also a more. Here, if you see, what is the carrier power? So carrier power will be a 2 by ma square into PDSBSC. Correct? Okay, that we will discuss later on. Here we will see. If I will calculate this power for a 100% modulation index, then the PDSBSC comes out to be a Pc by 2, or you can say 50% of a Pc. So the carrier power, 50% of the carrier power, 50% of a unmodulated power is with the DSBSC. Remember. So that is the advantage. Here, if you see in the previous case that the two-third power was with the carrier and the one-third power was with a sideband frequency. But here now, DSBSC require only a 50% of the carrier power. Now let us see that what is the saving in the power, because the main goal of the DSBSC technique is to save the power, and if we calculate this power in percentage, so we know that the P saving of power, if I want to calculate, then the percentage of saving power can be written as a total power minus a power of a DSBSC wave divided by a total power multiplied by 100. Now total power is a Pc into 1 plus ma square by 2. DSBSC power, just we have calculated, it is a ma square by 2 into Pc divided by, we have Pc into 1 plus ma square by 2 multiplied by 100. And here if you open the bracket, then you will find that first of all the Pc will be cancelled, then ma square by 2 plus, and this is going to be cancelled, so we have 1 upon 1 plus ma square by 2 multiplied by 100. And if we calculate for a 100%, then the saving of the power will come out to be a 1 upon 1 plus 1 by 2, and that is equal to a 2 by 3. That is equal to a 2 by 3 into 100. So the 66.6% is the saving in the power. 2/3 means there is no carrier. So actually, what was the power with the carrier? 2/3 power was there. And now we are not transmitting the carrier, so naturally the power saving will be a 66.6%. So here, what we have to remember for a DSBSC technique, that the important points are for DSBSC technique. First of all, the carrier is not transmitted. Carrier is not transmitted, it is suppressed. Only the sideband frequency are transmitted. This is the first point. Second one, there is no change in the bandwidth. Means the bandwidth will remain as it is, a two-way band. Third one, that the power is given as Na squared by 2 into Pc. So the saving of power is a 66.6%. So these are the three important points which you have to remember in a DSBSC technique. Okay. Now let us see an example. Example 1, a 400 watt carrier is amplitude modulated to a depth of 100%. So if we write the data, then the carrier power is a 400 watt. Modulation index is 100%, means Ma is equal to 1. Calculate the total power in case of Am. Means if we have amplitude modulation, then what is the total power? And DSBSC technique. So power of the DSBSC wave. So first of all we will calculate this thing. So here, what is the expression for a amplitude modulated wave? Power of the amplitude modulated wave, PAM, is given as PC into 1 plus Ma squared by 2. Here the PC is a 400 watt into 1 plus 1 by 2. We have to calculate for a 100%. So 400 into 1 plus 1 by 2, and that is a 1.5 multiplied by 400. So this will comes out to be a 600 watt. So if you use a simple modulation, amplitude modulation, then the power of the modulated wave is 600 watt. Now if you use the DSBSC technique, what is the expression? It is Ma squared by 2 into Pc. So this is a 1 divided by 2, 1 square divided by 2, and it is a 400. So the 200 watt. So now you can see that if I will use a DSBSC technique, I require only 200 watt. I here in this case a 600 watt is required. Now if the depth of the modulation, okay, now we have to calculate how many power saving. So the power saving we can write is a PAM minus PDS-BSC. So it is a 600 watt minus 400 watt, and sorry, it is 200 watt. So the saving of the power is 400 watt. If I will calculate in percentage of saving power, then this will be 400 divided by 600 multiplied by 100, and this comes out to be this will comes out to be 2 by 3, a 66.6%, and that's what we have calculated in the theory. So if the modulation index is 1, then the saving of the power will be a 66.6%. Second thing, that the power of a wave is also depend on the modulation index. So here in the second part, if the depth of the modulation is changed to a 75%, then how much power is required for the transmitting DS-BSC wave? So that you can calculate by taking this MA is equal to 0.75 watt. Here I am not calculating, but now you can use the formula, and calculate the DS-BSC power. Okay. Now let us see a second example. A DS-BSC transmitter radiates a 1 kilowatt when the modulation percentage is a 60 watt. Means the power of the DS-BSC is given. P DS-BSC is given as a 1000 watt. Modulation index is 60%, means it is a 0.6. How much of carrier power is required if you want to transmit the same message by AM transmitter? Means now you have to calculate what is the carrier power. And this one is simple, that P DS-BSC is MA squared by 2 into PC. So the PC is given as DS-BSC divided by MA squared by 2. So this one is 1000 is 0.6 whole square divided by 2, and you will get a 5.56 kilowatt. So try to understand that if you want to use a simple technique, then the required carrier power is 5.56 kilowatt. While in case of the DS-BSC, only the 1 kilowatt power is required, because if you want to transmit the same message by an AM transmitter. So this one change in the power or the saving in the power is there. Now in the next lecture, we will see another technique, and that is known as the SSB technique, single sideband suppressed carrier technique. What is the advantage and the disadvantage of the technique also we will discuss in the next lecture.